everybody, and welcome to another Heart to Heart. And today it's bright and early in the morning because I have to spend all day planting my garden. A subscriber asked me a very important question, and it was the first time I think that anybody's ever asked me this. It's about my old life and what my old life was like, and do I miss parts of my old life? So what was my old life like? One word: entertainment. We spent most of our money on entertainment. We would go anywhere we wanted to go. If we wanted to go see a movie, we'd go see a movie. We took our children to all kinds of outdoor events. We went to see rodeos. We traveled hours to see rodeos. We would go out to eat every weekend. Not just once a weekend, all weekend long. In fact, we went out to eat maybe half the time that we ate. We spent money whenever we wanted to. If there was something we wanted to buy, we bought it. If there was something that we thought we needed, we got it. We never relied on our own intuition. We never relied on our own wisdom. If something was broke, we paid someone to fix it. We spent money foolishly. And when our income was very well, it worked out okay. We had the income, we could pay our credit card. Now, we only ever had one credit card in our life, and in the beginning, everything was great. We would pay it off every single month. Looking back at that time, we really didn't realize how much money we were spending. I think looking back at that time, we didn't realize how much stuff really cost. If we needed something, we went and bought it. Almost every weekend we'd go to Walmart. And even though I didn't buy fancy clothing, at Walmart you don't have to shop very much before you have $200 or $300. We'd go every weekend. We'd make a trip to Walmart and buy certain things. I can't look back and even say, what did we buy? When the subscriber asked me about my old life, it took me back a while because we haven't lived that life in so many years that it took me a while to think about it. I put that part of my life way behind me, and I don't think much about it. It all changed in 2007, so this was way before 2007. Now, I loved the country lifestyle. I loved gardening and I loved canning, believe it or not. But when I canned, it was a hobby. I didn't really eat the food that much. I know it sounds so strange to hear it coming from me because I'm such a big canner and I love to eat the food that we can. My life is just totally 180 from what it used to be. I'd always buy all the newest canners and the jars, but it wasn't for self-sufficiency, it was just for a hobby. I enjoyed doing it, but I really didn't need it. Things are different today. The food that I store up, I need and I use. Many of the jars that I use today were jars back in those days when money wasn't as tight. And every time I moved, we downsized, and I took my jars along with me. And slowly my mentality changed from, this is a fun hobby, to this is a necessity in my life. As you know, we were house flippers. We would buy houses, fix them up, and resell them. And in the first couple years, it was an amazing job. We made good money on it. But we were living good, too. We just felt like it would always be this way. When the money comes in, you tend not to think about, what if the money stops coming in? And entertainment is expensive. You know what it's like. Anytime you want to go somewhere, it costs this and costs that. And with 3 children, it costs a lot. Now, they have many memories of it, and they enjoy the memories of going to the rodeos and going to various places. Wherever we wanted to go, we went. We bought 4-wheelers and brand new vehicles, If we needed a vehicle, we went out and bought a new one. We had the house with the in-ground pool, which took a lot of chemicals. It took a lot to keep that pool running. Electricity was high. We had central air condition. Imagine that. Central air condition for me. But what happened was slowly our income was declining, but yet our mindset was still spending. So the credit card was an important asset in our life, we thought. We have to keep on this entertainment lifestyle. And the swipe of the card, and we were able to do that. But when the income starts falling and your mentality still is living in a certain way, all of a sudden, the bill of your credit card piles up. We maxed our credit card out. We had very good credit, and we still have amazing credit. You just don't use the credit card anymore. And so, as you know, my story goes, we sold everything, and that means we put that credit card away, and we paid everything off by our two hands. No government assistance, no help from anyone else. Our two hands. How did we do it? Well, where there's a will, there's a way. And so while my husband continued to work, in fact, he worked more than he ever did. Everything went to the credit card. Everything. Looking back, I remember a time when I was using bar soap as laundry soap. Kind of like today. But my mindset was still on that, thinking of, I want to have the latest thing. And I was pouting one day and said, oh, if only I had some Tide laundry soap. I miss the smell of Tide laundry soap. Pretty pathetic, I know. But it was my mindset that I was missing. It wasn't that it was the laundry soap. It was my mindset. You know, when you run out of something, you can just jump in the car and go to the store and buy it. I was missing that mindset. I was missing that. I felt like I was going without. Now, this was only the first 6 months. As you know, with a bad habit, it takes a couple months to get rid of it. It doesn't happen overnight. And slowly, but slowly, I started developing self-assurance, self-reliable skills. You don't have any laundry soap? I grated up a bar of soap. Yes, I grated up a bar of soap, and I would heat it by the stove. It worked really well. I ran out of dish soap. That's okay. I used shampoo. Yeah, I used shampoo until we could go again to the store. I didn't have to run to the store just because I ran out of dish soap. And then my life started taking an amazing journey. So what did we spend our money on, and what was our old lifestyle? It was entertainment. Very, very expensive entertainment and going out to eat. Do I miss it? I think you all know the answer to that is no, I don't miss it one bit. It took a lot of pride for me to drive to my family get-togethers in an old beat-up truck, and I'm telling you, it was old and beat up compared to the new Dodge lifted truck that we had. It took a lot of courage to do these things. It took a lot of courage for people to see that we sold everything we owned. It took courage. It gave me character. It gave me a story. Never in my wildest dreams would I dreamed back then that I would have a YouTube channel and sharing my life. I believe everything happens for a reason. If I could go back in time and not make those mistakes, of course, I wish I wouldn't have to make them. But maybe, just maybe, those mistakes weren't really mistakes at all. In fact, they were blessings. Last week, somebody gave me a comment. It was the saddest comment I have ever read on my YouTube channel. They said mistakes are mistakes and miracles never happen. That was the saddest statement I have ever read. Of all of the things I read about me and things about me. That was the hardest statement I ever read. Once you stop believing, my friends, you stop living. Once you stop believing in the goodness and the miracles of your life, you stop living. Don't ever stop living. I could look back and think of all those things that I lost, but I didn't lose them. I gave them up. We didn't lose anything. We freely gave it. And in giving it, we let our life flourish. No longer were we the caterpillar in the jar. We were the butterflies because we chose to give it and we chose to seek a miracle in our life. Sometimes miracles are miraculous. Sometimes they happen and we can't explain it. But other times miracles happen just with a little bit of our own help. This is a miracle. The journey of where I was and where I've come from. I, in many ways, am the same girl that I was back in those days. I love to laugh. I like to cry. I have a lot of feelings. Just now, when I laugh in a deeper way. And when I cry in a deeper way because I have character, I have courage. I know what it's like to live with plenty, and I know what it's like to live with little. Through it all, I'm content. And I can say, this lifestyle was worth far more than any gold and silver any man could buy, because it gave me a purpose. So many people wonder, why do you bucket the water, Tessie? Why do you do this? Why do you do that? Because it's given me purpose in life. It's given me a reason to get up in the morning and keep myself moving. It's given me a reason to learn. I know what it was like to live a privileged lifestyle. I don't want that life. Of course, some days you're tired and you think about when you didn't have to work so hard. But through it all, I found joy in his lifestyle. And that's something even the richest millionaire can't buy unless he has it. Take care, everyone. See you guys tomorrow.